Hello and welcome to The Blue-Haired Conservative. Today we're going to be taking a look at Biden's first speech addressing the nation after Kamala's loss. So let's take a look what he has to say. Hopefully the dementia doesn't show too much because it honestly makes me feel really bad for him. We'll see what he has to say. Hopefully it's a better speech than Kamala had. Check out my short so that you can see more on the disaster and how she just basically copy-pasted. So let's get into it.
Good morning, good morning.
I mean, it looks pretty good.
Please. Thank you. Good to see this cabinet and the staff together here. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please.
He's not officially leaving right now.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here.
Cute, okay.
Hi, Finn. How are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. We're the people. The people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory.
So far, so good.
And I assured him that I would direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
All right.
That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner and a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character.
I don't know
She gave her whole heart effort, and she and her entire...
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I will say so far so good. It's a nice speech, but what character? You mean the character where she like tells everybody what they want to hear, but then like nothing at all, like no substance to what she says at the same time? That character? Like, I understand why he has to say it like this, and so far, I'm very happy to see him not, like, tripping over his words. He very clearly knows exactly what he's saying in the speech that he's giving, so super appreciate that. I appreciate, that he is really showing a lot of decorum here, but I definitely don't agree with what he has to say about Kamala, but, he's doing his duty, and I appreciate that.
Our team should be proud of the campaign they ran. The struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate and still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests of competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win.
I absolutely really love that sentiment. You can't love your country only when you win. I think is a great, great, great sentiment. Every other election that I voted on, my candidate that I wanted actually lost. And I continue to love my country, and I feel that that is absolutely a prevailing truth that all Americans should take on. This is my first election that my candidate actually won, so I'm very happy that he won. However, I do absolutely agree that we all need to continue to move forward, and we all need to be proud as Americans to live here and be grateful that we even have an election that is fair and free, and realize this is not the end of the world. This is not the worst thing that could ever happen. Trump is not Hitler. Regardless of the outcome, we need to keep moving forward. I really appreciate this sentiment, and I wish I would have heard more of this from Kamala yesterday.
Love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do no matter who you voted for, is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. And it can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset.
I think he's being absolutely fair right now. As an American citizen, as the child of legal immigrants in this country, I really have always seen very good things from the poll workers, very good things from the polls, and there are always going to be bad seeds that do try to intercept things. That is absolutely in every walk of life, in every place that you go, in every institution, there are always going to be bad seeds that try to ruin an election. However, this is the one of the places that I don't agree with Trump, that there is this widespread election scheme. Are there things that are questionable? Absolutely. Are there bad actors? Absolutely. But I think what is most important is continuing to fight for a fair and free election and ensure that things are put in place to back that up and ensure the security of these elections. So I appreciate that Biden is taking kind of the high road and also trying to create new enthusiasm for our electoral system and reiterate and try to just impress upon the American citizens that we do have a fair and free election and we do have things in place to stop any kind of crimes from being committed. It is a crime to do any kind of voting fraud, is a major, major, major felony. I really appreciate his sentiment, I guess, and I also feel that this is another way to try to regroup the country as one unit and all kind of come together. So really appreciate that, Biden.
We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, protecting the very integrity of the election.
And can we talk about the fact that there has been countless times that these ballot workers have been threatened. Their lives have been threatened in the past. Even just this year in Georgia, there was several false threats of bombs, things like that. There were fires at other election sites. These people put their lives on the line to come and try to ensure that for everybody, they are allowed to come out and vote and have a fair and free election. So I absolutely give it to the poll workers. Thank you, thank you, thank you for spending so much time and effort, energy to ensure a fair and free election and be there for us as a nation. Mwah, my love goes out to you.
Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country.
Yep.
And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency of all Americans.
I mean, it's definitely been historic. I will say, yes, it was historic to have a female VP. It's also been historic in some very bad ways, unfortunately, such as having the first president with dementia on the roster here, and the countless wars that broke out and were badly ended and whatnot. I mean, you can dissect that all. I'll have linked here my video about why Trump won and why so many people flipped on his side. And I do discuss in depth some of the things that were done incorrectly by the Biden administration. So I'll leave that there for you.
Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority.
Not in a great way, Joe, but okay.
It will not be felt. We felt over the next 10 years. We have.
I don't love that. Certain of your policies I really don't want to feel for the next 10 years, Joe, but okay.
Legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty, because it takes time to get it done.
I mean, we definitely could use some more infrastructure work in our country, that is for sure. A lot of, especially European countries, come to mind with their infrastructures leagues above our own. So, okay, I don't know much about that policy, but I'm definitely interested to look into it. Hopefully it was really for the betterment of our country. And if that's the case, all right, I can jive with that.
And so much more. It's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world.
The strongest economy in the world, Joe? What year is it? Blink twice if you need help. Blink twice if you don't think it's 2024. The strongest economy in the world, Joe? Yeah.
I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly.
Yes,
Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term.
Okay.
Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know it, your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable.
Oh, that's a good line. I love that. Giving up is unforgivable. I love that.
Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable.
You say that twice, Joe. Okay.
We all get knocked down. But the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up.
Love that.
Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Cute. Love that little kiss off. That was cute. That was cute, Joe. Love that. And he's walking off. There goes the man himself. 46th President of the United States. Alright, so I have to say that I do appreciate what Joe had to say. I definitely did not agree with a lot of his policies, but that's okay. That's to be expected. Again, we talked about that before. And I have to say that I'm not mad at his speech. I wish that I would have heard something much more similar to this instead of similar to Clinton's wonderful speech by Kamala yesterday, but it is what it is. Joe did a great job on the speech. There's definitely a few things that I didn't love, but overall I think he did a great job. And this is the very hard thing, and you know what, this is kind of how it is with dementia patients as well, just in general. It's so hard because that was definitely a moment of political brilliance and great character, decorum, all of the fabulous words, right? You know, he did absolutely excellent. He really held himself with poise, and I really appreciate that about Joe. As much as we don't love him, especially here on the right, but I can give somebody their kudos when they are due, and I think Joe deserves his kudos for this. Really not mad at it at all. I think he did a great job. So there you have it, Biden's speech after Trump's victory. And if you'd like more informative news about what's going on in our country, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, guys.